for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Not to mention, well, no, that'd be 3.
The baby, 4.
Oh, 4.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
We have to press the baby!
Yes! I need to use all these buttons to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious.
No, I want you to read every single one of those buttons, Taisa. Come on.
No!
Just make your point.
Just point at him.
Just pointing solves everything.
Just point at him. It works in the future.
Hello everyone, KVTV Under the Sun. Welcome back to The Great Departure, aka the first case of the Great Ace Attorney. We're here again with Final, and last we left off, we're trying to figure out who was eating the steak, and the answer is...
It was me!
It was me.
Dio. It was me the whole time!
It was Dio.
I think it may
It
have
was
been
me, Barry.
I'm going to jail! What?
It's not they took a man's life, but he took his meal as well.
It's a really good-looking steak.
I agree with you on that, but still, that's a bee sting on a crying face. Some people seem to think that they can do whatever they like.
And some people seem to think they can say whatever they like. Ryunosuke.
Hey, you were the one who said I needed to say whatever's on my mind.
Have better things on your mind.
Sorry, you're right. Of course I
But
did eat
did
it.
you actually eat? Oh.
The next time you make a quip like that, I'll make you eat your words. Then you'll be needing some dental surgery yourself.
Oh, shit. Best
Damn,
friend.
Cosmo.
Alright. I get the message.
I will hire Deadpool himself to get your words, cut them up, and then feed you them.
Who's
You're
dead?
already going to jail, man. Come on.
Okay, it is as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Then who ate the steak? Yeah! I'm sorry, it's yes.
There was no such person.
Yes! There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else eating it. Man, I read that wrong. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage,
I'll kill you.
He will!
He
I
lifted
will
his
go
sword.
MC3 Virgil on your ass. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly.
Kazuma.
Insane? You would actually take on the government?
Yes, he would, actually.
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
Oh, well, that's crazy. Wait, what does that mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand.
What?
What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone.
Sorry, where the evidence is placed and Naruto's eyes are wandering behind him. It's gotta work. There's a...
Believe it. He's trying to look at
defense lawyer.
He's trying to look at the evidence. He's trying really hard.
There's a Wazowski effect going on over there.
So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies,
This evidence was already...
obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
Wheelchair was rubble.
Huh? I don't know who. Okay.
Negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders.
Yeah, that always goes well when someone pulls that line out.
Right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us.
Oh, we are so screwed.
Would anyone like to buy my wares? Oh,
No.
what? What did you just say? Kura-san? Oh, look at his face. No. You were just following orders. Now, hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? Grr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean... you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What?
Attention! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you bear?
Just one simple slip of the tongue.
Oh.
Order! Order! Council, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
So you're just incompetent then.
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
That's classified! Stop pulling on my mustache. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you?
Baby?
You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it.
Ouchie doesn't have influence.
Nope. Well, what are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. Dude, we have that evidence in our hands. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit.
So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh,
But
yes.
Kazuma, didn't you realize
right.
you already did that?
Well, it's your fault for skipping ahead.
Oh.
We're too far ahead of the game.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it?
Man, this tutorial is something. Like, we could have 3 murdered Mia Fays in the time this tutorial will end.
Uh-huh.
We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed.
Yeah, compared to, like, the original trilogy, they really paced out all of the tutorials.
There's no time to lose.
Like, in a sense, if you're just playing this for the first time, it's not bad. But when you're replaying it, it's far more tedious compared to the original trilogies.
It's like, come on, man, there are like 3 dead Mia Fays from how long this is taking.
I certainly
I
felt
want
to play this
answers.
stage.
If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about telling you this. I swear to every Shinto god!
Oh, so you're taking God's names in vain now?
No! I knew nothing!
And what does the defense have to say about all this?
Well, Your Excellency. Ugh, no time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. First name.
Gumshoe.
This will. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is John H. Wilson. Obviously, since we looked at
I
the
want you to
business
know-
card, what?
I want you to know that just based on these thumbnails, for half a second, whenever I look at Kasuma, he looks like Orphan.
Oh my god, he does.
Oh,
Yes! Who's orphan?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Peacock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. I know it's a popular restaurant and all, but still.
Not that popular. Dang. God.
For once, I would agree with you. Oh, my tongue just... Ugh. If that is, the man were truly a waiter.
Did you bit your tongue or something?
No, just saying it felt so wrong. I could taste it.
Right.
Agreeing with Ouchie is difficult.
If he truly were,
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
The university pen.
No. Oh.
You know, if there
Oh,
wasn't,
hold up.
if I
Katana's
had,
right here. I will club you.
you know, if I hadn't lost a penalty, I would have probably presented it just for the lulz. Okay? Yes.
Have you seen my badge?
Have you seen my student badge?
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
You mean
What?
the front? Just say the front. You know what the front is, right? I beg your pardon?
I'm just nervous, okay? Or perhaps I should have said the front?
There you go, buddy. I always believe.
Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail
The
is.
front of the back.
Oh, you almost had it.
Your Honor, just flip the damn thing. Please.
Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of this business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
A waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency.
No one can turn around a card.
Nope.
The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
the waiter is police detective. I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well...
Inspector Hosonaga!
I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized there was a possibility.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are.
Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card.
I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
You mean to say, you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course, your salary must be... Oh my god, Naruto.
I was working undercover. My salary is none of your concern.
Undercover?
Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover.
Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge.
We're in a court of law. Like,
I said what I
no
said.
rank on that? Okay.
However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
He's the cop, he can do whatever he wants.
Gumshoe should have pulled that off.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable!
As I suspected.
Bangu.
Oh my god, someone got shot in the court. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened.
I mean, I guess we knew too much.
The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say...
Yeah, he wanted the soup that Linguini was making.
It was some very good soup. Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders.
But what if this English woman was the killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea.
Too bad, we're pursuing it!
The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But it's not right.
Ellipses.
All the ellipses.
One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain,
Oh, don't tell me.
and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman.
What?
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
You mean...
When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies.
He was pushing the baby down while he was talking. Please.
It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
Bring her in.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered, that this premise is false, since I am surrounded by liars, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Excuse me, the defense have not been lying, thank you.
Your excellency, and my
Ouchie, I don't want to hear another damn word from you.
idiots, I just didn't know about this. Also,
right.
I just pieced it together.
What did I just
Yume
say?
University
Not another
is a-
damn word, Ouchie. Not another damn
I have many
word.
words to say first, Your
Shut it.
Excellency.
Ouchie, shut it.
I have many words to say. I just wanted you to know that I just pieced it together. Yume University is famous university because Yume means famous.
What?
The Japanese
if the
word,
next-
the Japanese word for famous is
Yume?
Your
Yume.
Highness, permission to club Ouchie with the back end of my sword.
Ouchie, you may leave this court, I swear to God.
I didn't realize Yume was actually famous. Oh my god.
And actually, if you could go to the evidence really quick, because I want you to examine Ryunosuke's badge.
Oh, whoa, oh wow, I didn't even consider to look at this badge. The symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like this spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. I mean, yeah, I wonder. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders. A sharp pin for a sharp mind, or something.
Examine the back.
Oh, he's got a number here too.
Yep.
Is it 106?
Yeah, 106 and then just zeros.
My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a Yume student at the university. You may not come in, they say. Oh! Ah!
I thought that was clever because
That's a
at
yeah.
least that I don't know what the the university's name was in the Japanese version.
It is
but
Yume.
Using
No,
okay,
it
so
is
using
Yume.
that name and then still
Make-
keeping it so they can make that pun,
I
I thought
know.
was fantastic.
Of course, you can get a new pin made if you can just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by the heart. It's 3 numbers! I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere. And then I forget not to forget that. Oh my god, Naruhodo, how do you survive? But also there's
How do you
only three-
function?
I don't know how he functions.
You may not go.
That's great. I hate it.
You may get the hell out of my sight, Ouchie.
He's got
yeah, no-
lines!
I just won't say my lines. We won't continue the trial then.
Oh, fine. Okay, Ouchie. All right. Your lines and nothing but your lines.
You got
me,
it,
Ouchie.
sir.
All right.
Yes, Your Excellency. That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain.
Oh, you poor thing!
Our government would surely be displeased by such actions.
They can wait.
Calm yourself, Council. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga, Yes, sir?
You will locate this Giselle Barrett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
So I don't know how much you know about Sherlock Holmes stories, but Giselle's Japanese name was To the Nose, and it was very obvious because I don't know if you read the first Sherlock Holmes story. I think it was the first one, Scarlet Study.
I
or
have
something?
not.
Do you know how John Watson got injured? Do you at least know
Oh.
that?
I don't know.
Oh, so he had a leg injury in the original story, and he was shot with a Giselle bullet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so in the Japanese version, it is quite literally Giselle bullet.
It's. I mean, that's what it is here already.
No, but like the spelling came out it was just Giselle bullet. They didn't even try to give her a proper name. It was just Giselle bullet.
Yeah, but it's even like it's the same here because like when you do the thing with like Brett, and then you like do the thing in Japanese, Buret.
Buretto. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that, Lewis.
yeah.
Brett is Buret.
Bulleto.
Bureto. Bullet. So
Yeah.
Giselle Bullet, yeah. So they still kept that technically.
Technically, only technically, but it's spelling wise, it still came out as bullet though. Like they didn't.
Oh yeah.
When
I bet.
Well, no, because I remember when I think in the art, you know what? I have the art book right next to me.
I just find it fascinating that if you take Brett and
No,
you
no.
Romanize it, it would come out the same way. Buretto.
Well, I will like to tell you that in the art book, it's literally spelled as bullet, not Brett, as it is right now in the English one. Yes, when you say the English name and you say bullet, like say it like with Japanese sounds, it will sound like bullet. But when they Romanized it initially before it got localized, it's literally just bullet.
Oh my god.
They Romanized it as just bullet, not Brett, bullet.
Okay, but I like Brett because you have to think about it a little.
Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, continue.
But like, if someone was called Giselle Bullet, I'm like, yeah, okay, so obviously she shot him.
Well, it is the first case, so like I'm okay.
So
just
at least
outing.
here, I have to think for at least 10 seconds before I think, oh well, obviously she shot him. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
So, it won't be a problem. Also, if it was flawlessly, you shouldn't be hiding the British woman, but you know.
Nothing will get in my way.
Except for the British, apparently.
And for your cough.
Really need to get that checked, sir.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency.
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Bang. There's a to be continue. We are continuing for a little bit. I'm gonna see if we can just push it so we can see the beautiful Giselle. No, we're not saving.
You sure you don't want to save?
No, I definitely don't want to save right now. 22nd November, 11:30 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. I hate that word still.
Judicature.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb.
My heart was in my mouth the entire time.
Also, I'm sorry about my dogs barking in the background. That's why I
hear
keep
any
muting.
dogs.
I actually didn't hear it.
Oh. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Spino, do you still remember the line I gave you for this? It was very gay.
Really thought I was reading porn. I'm so glad that we got to this point. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
He sure doesn't have the skill, but he at least has the talent.
Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. I got bad news for you.
Naruhodo. You
Bad news for you, Bucko. There's 2 whole games.
You gotta understand though, Naruhodo. In this case, you're also the defendant. It won't be as stressful next time you're doing this.
Well, let me put it to you this way, Naruhodo. If you lose this case, you won't see the inside of a courtroom ever again.
Oh, sure. That's terrible.
I feel like we need an It's Always Sunny Philadelphia title after Naruhodo said that.
Naruhodo doesn't want to go into a courtroom ever again. Da 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 da. Naruhodo is in a courtroom again.
Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. Powers of observation, no, sorry. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. I know I've said this like 10 times already. Is anything going to change if I say it another 10 times? And just after I bent down and picked it up, I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen.
As thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. I think this is Lewis.
Yep.
Is this Eugene?
Probably.
What voice did I give you, Eugene? I don't know. This is a...
How old are you?
There you are. Well done, both of you.
Professor Mikatoba.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yeah, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, so far, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
What? What are you saying, Kazuma?
So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way.
Kazuma!
Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
To me?
Yes, you need to prove your innocence, and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case.
Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim?
Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at Yume. And it was I who invited him.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck!
Thank you.
Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Defender Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
And that's the shortest 30 minutes I've ever seen.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner.
Not even enough time for a quick snack.
Or a game of dodgeball.
God, it reminds me of my lunch break at my first job. Let's go in there and deal decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them.
You mean the Goda say in the background right there?
Kazuma?
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now.
I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is.
Oh, we're way past friendship there.
Right? So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose.
Phoenix right in the future watching this turns to Wedgwood. It's like, why can't we be that gay? Like, what's preventing you from being this gay?
I'm just saddled with unnecessary feelings, right?
It was probably
Well, stop
it was probably the 8 years when you want an attorney.
Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street.
Oh, frick, I'm frick. Stop talking about food.
With an extra large portion, of course.
We're all so hungry!
Stop! I just ate!
It's food again, I frickin' gluten allergy bullcrap.
I'm actually going to eat lunch at 2 p.m. and this game is, like, shaming me for it.
Oh no! 22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Also, you could have soba noodles? I think that's gluten-free, right?
No, I've just been having turkey because it's tasty.
Oh, no. Final was mentioning he has gluten issues, so I'm sitting here like, you can have soba noodles, right?
I need to, like, research that a bit more.
Okay. Anyway.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Too bad. Sorry. Not really sorry.
You're not sorry.
The government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It is highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. We still think there's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders.
Again.
Hey, Aochi, are you allergic to the truth or something?
Terribly
Was that supposed to say-
sorry.
Was that supposed to say Flanders? Because it looked like it said Founders.
I read floundering.
It says founders. Nation's founders.
Oh!
Yeah, that should have been. I think that should have been Flounders.
Yeah, that was definitely supposed to be flounders.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! Golden whatever!
Very
Oh, he's got
mature.
you, Aochi!
You and your friends know nothing! Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in!
Oh, you gonna take that, Ryunosuke?
By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become stronger. Diplomacy has never been more critical. The political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Dude, that's deep. We got you back! That is deep!
Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
Perhaps.
Thank you, Counsel.
You're welcome, Your Excellency.
I wasn't talking to you.
Damn it!
This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Your Excellency!
I love how I only just barely heard the yes, and then he just went straight into screaming Your Excellency.
Thump.
That was great.
Hello!
Oh, this bitch.
This bitch!
Oh, hell, what a delight is to welcome such a fine gentleman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring the English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. I read that somewhere.
Is that true?
No idea.
Don't care.
Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the courts?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but...
Yes, we know about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh, yes. I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty.
Damn, Asogi, you just want to date everyone?
So,
I mean, if you saw that, and your description was, there was a woman there, I'm just like, you sure
Yeah.
you don't mean like
Asogi
a
has a
walking
point.
swan exhibit? Like, what are you...
I mean, Asogi has a point, but at the same time, it's Asogi talking to Naruhodo.
Like, I see someone sitting at a table, and then that lady is sitting next to them. I'll be like, there was a swan exhibit there. She might have been a woman.
oh, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
I just realized who's gonna voice her.
Me.
KB.
私の名前はジゼル・ブレットでいらっしゃいます。
What?
Speak English, please.
Except that was English.
Speak Japanese, please.
Terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
I don't, how do I, what?
I don't know. You could just do rubble, rubble, rubble like the gallery. Just do it. Yeah, do it. Rubble,
That's what I'm
rubble,
gonna
rubble
do.
the
That's what we're
gallery.
gonna
Yeah,
do.
it.
Yeah.
See, Lewis, I spent time looking at all of this, so I actually have the script typed out for myself.
I should show you the. I should show you the scribbles in the Japanese one because they use. So it's the same in the Japanese version. They use these really. They use these like scribbles you can't decipher what it is, but I think they use a different type of font for the English version because it's not.
I know. Hear me
quite
out.
the
Hear me
same.
out.
What?
Hear me out. Just do the Charlie Brown adult noises.
Oh my god! Perfect.
私の名前はジゼル・ブレットでございます。ロンドンにお願いします。
But that's
The
Japanese.
lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England.
Gravy, I know what you're going for, but she's speaking Japanese.
I know! It's gonna be funny later.
She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty.
Oh my! What a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people!
Japanese.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird
Oh
song!
my god.
What if she said trash bag?
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Japanese.
You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke.
He is an English major, the one thing he'll probably focus on at least.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. Three days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
Oh, this is so good. I love it!
Hey, ルルスン先生と一緒にいただきました。
No, this is great. I love this. She says yes.
This could take some time. I love that translation. I love that joke where, like, they say a ton of things and then you translate, it's just one word.
Yep.
So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
That sounds like every English tourist.
Yeah.
本当にもう、もしわけございません。日本語は難しい言語でございますから、おとといに本当に申し訳ございません。大学で発表いただきました。すぐに参ります。
The English language is so beautiful. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
A murder occurred!
She had to leave immediately.
Interesting when you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
And now, dear lady, would you be so kind to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? 本当に怖かったございます。不気味なごでございました。
It was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say...
Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
His poor eyes. Rubble, 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 rubble.
English is
Order.
such a good language.
Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
We really have not even tested the, accuracy of the statement, but like...
You don't even understand what she's saying, Ouchie.
Like, sure, go ahead, jump the gun, whatever.
We get it, you have a boner, Ouchie.
Like, dang, just calm down, Ouchie. This is a workplace.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
No, you're
Know how to distract that hot decapitator.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
I'm gonna be real with you. I sound less like Charlie Brown adult and more like a Banjo-Kazooie character.
Works too.
Yeah. Do not read any of this. We're gonna. When I start the music, do not read any of the testimony.
Well, it's
we're
funny
saying
you say that because I know the line that's coming up right away.
A frightening and sorrowful sight, which we're not gonna hear right now.
Nope.
Shut up, Giselle. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and deal with her Japanese/English gibberish in the next
Such a
video.
beautiful language, Taisa.
So beautiful. We'll deal with it in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you all then.
The English language is so beautiful and exotic.
I'm flubbing it a lot, but I'm enjoying it. It's good practice.